everyone. Welcome to My Family Reviews Star Trek. I'm Perry. This is my daughter Leia. And this is my son Darth Vader 1701. Today we're reviewing Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 3, The Ghosts of Illyria.
Yes.
And overall, I thought the episode was good. Oh, by the way, we're going to do massive spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, please go and watch it. Otherwise, you were warned. All right, so overall, the episode was good. Just like the previous two episodes before it were good. It's just I personally thought the other two episodes were very rewatchable. This episode had a lot of explaining in the front end, and the back end, the second half of the show paid off. But rewatching it again, there was a lot of exposition, a lot of explaining in the beginning that felt kind of difficult to get through. So it wasn't as compelling during the rewatch for me, but it was still a very good episode, well acted, well written. They kind of put Pike and Spock on the planet on their little camping trip, and everybody else got the action this episode, but that was fine. Spike, what's that? Oh
Spock
my
and Pike.
goodness, don't do that.
I keyed that on
Spork or it's
accident.
nobody.
That was a misspeak on my part.
Oh.
All right, anyway, that's old, going back. Anyway, so all right, so what are your thoughts?
I agree. I did not find it rewatchable at all. And I had high hopes for Una. I remember mentioning that in one of the previous episodes. But I don't know. I didn't like any. I liked her little struggle, like about the bigotry and like that whole story. That's something that definitely needs to be told. And I appreciated that. But I just overall didn't find her, I wouldn't care if she died next episode.
Wow,
Una?
okay.
You wouldn't care if Una died the next episode?
I liked more of what I saw of her in episodes 1, 2,
pretty
and
harsh.
the Star Trek shorts
Where's my
than
favorite?
what I saw in this third episode.
I'm armed. They took the original X-Man and they made her into a mutant. You can't appreciate that?
I didn't. There was no
Oh,
part of
yeah.
her character that was like, oh, that's unique, or oh, that reminds me of this, or oh, I find that really, I can have empathy towards that.
So if she was a regular human, that would have been fine?
No, even none of her species, nothing about it was like, oh, I'm invested in this person. Nothing. You know
She's
what I mean?
a really good first officer.
I have seen that, and I like that about her, but it's okay.
So all right, so how is she different from Lawan Khan? How is she different from her?
I felt like La'an had a tragic backstory. She's trying to be that's what we didn't get any backstory from her. We got she's Illyrian, but we didn't get how did she join the Federation? Who did she have to leave behind? What is this suppressing of her identity basically doing to her? We got none of that.
Because she wasn't scarred emotionally by the Gorn, she's boring?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying we don't know what she is. She could be like Bashir and happy-go-lucky and enjoying everything. It's just we got no character out of her.
I mean, we
The
see
story was
how
about-
her acceptance, the captain's acceptance of who she was, affected her emotionally, and how she felt
that's
about
why the
that,
second half was better
and she
than
felt
the
like
first
she
half.
found a place of belonging. I think that was some good characterization.
Yeah.
But I honestly, that's just an opinion, I guess. I don't think it's the straight fact that she didn't get that much of a backstory, in my opinion.
Well, they might. I think they're going to pick up on this in future episodes. Hopefully, after all this explanation and setup, they're going to pick up on it in future episodes. But
Yes, especially with M'Benga's daughter. And
that was
transportation
that
station.
and Spike were a more compelling
you got to stop saying that.
story to me than
I literally misspoke once, and now she's using it like
I
crazy.
I
like
think
it.
she did it on purpose.
Then
Oh, Spike is
Spock and Pike.
The voice of God is about to chime in, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
Okay, it's not disgusting. It's just not in fitting with the actual canon of the characters, but it's not
I
disgusting.
want a prop.
I like
Get
their
your
little
own prop.
adventure.
This is my prop.
Okay.
I like their little adventure on the planet and how that contributed to the main plot.
It was cute, but compared to the other stories that were going on, it wasn't nearly as strong or as well written.
I don't think it was
I'm
supposed to
arming
be.
us with logic. Seriously,
With
Spock.
knowledge.
That was so funny.
Seriously?
No, it was knowledge. I'm arming us with
Okay,
knowledge.
all right. What did I say?
I don't know. I thought that was like that was like a normal thing to hear in Star Trek, like something like that.
That kind
Common
of
to
story
find.
could have been its own episode. They made it.
They
their
would have had to
episode
flesh it
before.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it served its purpose. I thought it was a pretty strong B story, but the main story I thought was like really smartly written. It was like one of those classic Star Trek episodes where there's a disease on the planet and it comes in and infects the ship, and you have to solve the disease. It was like that, but I thought the most interesting part was the fact that it spread by light. It just kept you guessing on like how they were gonna solve it, how M'Benga was gonna solve it. And I liked on the rewatch how you could like pick up on things that you didn't before, like when the ensign on the planet, like when he opened the cabinet, you thought nothing of it at the beginning, but when you rewatch it, it's like, oh, that's where he first contracts the disease, and then you can see how that progresses and who he infects and all that. So I really like this episode. Even though, yeah, it's not the. I don't think it was the strongest episode out of the 3 so far. I think it was still a pretty good episode.
And no red shirts died. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can we
That's
talk
good.
about Mr. Kyle? I like him so much. He's
Oh,
better
Kyle.
than he's not better than Mr. O'Brien, but
O'Brien
he has
is a
potential.
legend.
Yeah, O'Brien is a legend. She's blaspheming all over the
He
place.
does like a
I'm not, I,
statue.
didn't say, I take it back. He's not better than O'Brien, but he has potential. Is
Yes.
what I'm resting.
All the
at.
characters have potential,
Yeah.
and Kyle is certainly starting off very well.
So funny.
He's very relatable.
Oh, we should talk about the engineer. Engineer was fine.
Hemmer,
I
yeah.
liked him. He reminds me of like that house guy, or kind of like the doctor a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I mean? He's just like, screw everybody. I'm better than all of you.
Yeah, his superiority
Yeah.
complex is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, he's
I
definitely giving that
appreciate
vibe.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the second time y'all have mentioned the engineer, and I have still not noticed him.
He's the guy with the antennas.
And Dory.
That's the engineer.
Oh, no,
That's
he's not
the
Andorian?
engineer. He's not Andorian. He's related to the Andorian. It's a
It's an Enterprise.
offshoot of the Andorians. Yeah.
Uh,
And again, I like how they made Una. If they're going to make her an alien, they picked an alien that was already established in Star Trek, so we don't have to constantly be getting new aliens. Even though this alien was only featured in one episode of Enterprise, it's still, I'm glad that they're going back and reusing the names and the
yeah.
and
And
the
it
aliens.
fits in the timeline too. It's not like
Yeah.
where you got to go. Oh well, they're meeting them earlier than we thought they were. No, it's it follows the progression.
Right, and even though in Enterprise they had bumpy things on their foreheads, since they genetically experiment on
Yeah.
themselves, they can easily blend in as human, just like they did on that other planet in the very first episode.
The part I did like with Una was when she was investigating the light thing with the Hura. It was like a small scene, but when she was like, so you contracted it, and no, you didn't contract it, but they did contract it, and let me sleep in your bed and see how it all worked out. I thought that was cute.
I thought, like, yeah, Una's interactions with all, like, the people on the ship, like, her
Yeah.
interactions with Hemmer, I thought all that was, like, really nice to see, like, her, like, how she is, like, because she's basically, like, the boss of the ship. Like, there's the captain, and then she, like, interacts with the crew.
Yeah.
Like, she's the
It's like
voice of the
Riker.
captain
Yeah, she
almost,
was
and I
like
think,
Karen.
Very
Off ship the
similar
whole
to
time.
Riker.
Yeah.
Yes. Only difference is Riker would get into personal space. Una knows where to stay inside.
yeah,
Good
Riker had a
point. The voice
problem.
of God has spoken. Yes.
Yeah, no, but I really like how she interacts with people in the crew, especially Hemmer, and how, like, he was like, I can sense the face you're giving me
Yeah,
right now,
that's
and she was like, yeah, I know.
That was a good
Like,
one.
yeah, that was pretty. I don't know. I
That
like
was
those little bits of,
7-year-old.
like, humor
I know.
spread across the episode. It's really nice to see.
Can I bring up the fact about how is it possible for her to get into an academy without getting physical testing done? How is it they could keep such a big secret? Was she in cahoots with the doctor then? Who kept the secret from
That's
the
why
base?
that would have developed her character and made her more.
No, this is
personable
why I
thing.
think Pike, see I was going to say Spike,
Mhm.
Pike said, I look forward to that conversation because he's going to throw the ball back into their court saying, you should have known, you'll have done the test before.
Maybe they'll explain it. Maybe they won't even bring it up. But it might be that she was able to modify her blood or her chemistry to where she totally matched humans and it was undistinguishable on the test. Who
Yeah,
knows?
maybe that's just the case for Illyrians. I mean, whatever happened, it obviously worked out for Una, because she got into Starfleet. So
Definitely going into nitpicking territory here.
yeah,
Why don't
I
we?
agree though. It's such a like prestigious academy, and if you're gonna go make all these regulations like outlawing the species and all their work and da da da, like you should be testing for them to join. You know
did
what I
you
mean?
did
Like,
you did you have to do a blood test to get into, like, UCF?
That's not the same.
She does
I mean,
have
it's an
medical
academy, right?
records
And yeah, they do have
to
my
take
medical records.
vaccinations
Yeah, they have her
and
medical records,
whatever,
but do they do
yes.
genome testing, stuff like that? I think that's the only way you would find that.
Yeah, and maybe since no Illyrians tried to apply, they figured they didn't have to worry about it. Who knows? Again, maybe they'll pick up on it in a future episode.
I think they will. I think it's a loose thread. I think Una as a character is a little bit more underdeveloped than all the others, in my opinion.
Okay.
I also think they are doing each character is going to get an episode, and the only reason Spike haven't gotten an episode is because we met them in Discovery. So I think they're doing
I don't know
each
about that.
individual character getting their own little story, and we're going to get this window into their life, and then season finale is going to come, and we're going to be like, oh no, everyone that we care about over this entire season's in danger. Ah.
You mean the
Why
whole
is that a
crew?
bad thing, though?
Yeah,
And then
it's
also
not
the
like-
fact that I think Pike got a pretty good episode the first premiere. Like, I think that was kind of his and La'an's at the same time, but
Right.
I think he stood out the most in the first episode. So I don't know if it's like they're sidelining the two guys that we already know. They gave
No,
a
I'm not
Uhura
saying
episode.
they're sidelining them. I'm saying they're not going to be the A story.
All right,
I
I'm
think
just
we had pretty good parts the first
Yeah.
2 episodes. This is the only episode where they were definitely pushed to the B story.
yeah,
But-
but that's
and-
that was fine. Like it worked for the story, and as
Yeah.
long as it was a good. It didn't like destroy what they was trying to say. Like it was a good story overall.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. It just seems forced. You know what I mean? I'm not upset
Ah.
that Spike has been on the sideline. I'm just like, okay, we're gonna get to see what each and every character wants to do. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
that
that's
feels
also an
forced.
opinion. Like I think it flows pretty evenly. Like, I think they wrote it really smartly to where it feels natural, like the way they're doing this. Oh, Una happens to be on the ship, so she's the one in charge. This episode's gonna be about her. The Illyrians are involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's an Una episode, but like I think they do it pretty smartly to
Alright.
to focus on certain characters, and I like that.
All right, so let's rate the episode overall. We'll do from
No.
okay, God's
Nobody
displeased.
While we were nitpicking,
Yeah.
Una's nail paint changed.
Oh my.
It's black.
Well, okay.
I appreciate.
I
your
thought it was green.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was black.
I don't
I think
know.
she
Usually
was
metallic
rotating
ish.
between black and gold for her to match.
Oh,
everything,
yeah.
but it doesn't have to be the same every week. I mean,
I mean, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
just saying,
I
we
thought
were
her hair was
nitpicking.
really pretty. I liked her hair a lot.
They're
you
making
go.
her very nice.
Yeah.
she was really nice as Mystique too. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked on that.
I like
Yeah.
everyone's aesthetics. I feel like each of their like I like showing the diversity basically in looks. Like
Pike's
you have
hair.
women with short hair. You have Pike with all of his.
Amazing hair. Yeah, look at that
He
guy.
does have
It's
really
like
good
3
hair.
inches
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He's got some good
His
hair.
entire
Compensation
crown.
And this is
goes on
pre
there.
Mr. Mott. I mean, come on.
He's Mr. Mott.
Oh, I failed you. Oh, he was the barber on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh,
Yeah!
yeah.
What color was he? What color was he?
Blue.
Stop!
Don't
Don't go that far.
Vader.
I don't like this.
He was he was like
I
those
love it. They have it every
what are they called? Bolians? Like what?
Yes, he was
yeah.
a bolt. Very good. Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
remember-
Don't talk
I
to me.
remember Picard sitting in the chair.
Yes, he did
And
sit in
that's
the
all
It's
chair.
kind of funny because he's bald. but
Exactly,
yeah.
but he still needs a trim.
And a conversation every now and then.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Anyway, we'll rate it
You don't
one.
have a bar in this particular space.
They should 10 forward. This episode, they should.
This is
Not called
the Enterprise D
Forward.
is more of a house ship. This one's more of like a research vessel, right?
It's a battle cruiser, but or scientific exploration, but it's a Constitution class ship.
It's less
more
homely than
focused.
the Enterprise D, so I don't think they would have a
Yeah, the
barber
Enterprise
shop.
D is a far bigger ship,
Yeah,
and then the Enterprise D had families on it, so it would make sense that it had
yeah,
recreational places.
recreational facilities. Yeah.
All right, let's rate this episode 1 to 10 phasers, 10 being or 11 being the Wrath of Khan, 0 being These Are the Voyages. I give this one a 7. Again, I liked it on the first viewing. It was a great episode. On the rewatch, it definitely wasn't as strong as the previous 2 episodes, which I gave I think an 8 and a 9. So this was a solid 7. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed Una, and it was a good story overall.
I'd probably give it a 5.5, 6. I really didn't like any of the Una Solo character arc. I liked when she was interacting with either like Uhura or the engineer, stuff like that.
What about La'an?
I liked La'an as well. I thought that was a very interesting character to show like the bullying and how it's, you know what I mean? Like you have the chance to do it to someone else, but are you? I loved Spike, of course. That's not going anywhere. But yeah, I just thought like the main plot of the episode was not something I was interested in. I liked Mbenga's story, but yeah, I didn't care for Una or the first like 30 minutes of the episode.
Okay, Dark Lord?
I would give it this episode an 8 out of 10. I don't think it was as good as the last 2 episodes, but I really did enjoy watching it because it was like a mystery. It kept you thinking the entire time. And when I watch Star Trek, I like to think a lot. Like I like when it makes me think. I enjoy that out of Star Trek. I really like the way they developed Una's character, and I like the Spike and
Ugh.
the
See what
Spock
you've done.
and Pike interactions on the planet and how that contributed to discovering more about the Illyrians and their story and the colonist story, and how that helped them on the actual Enterprise. That's how the problem was solved, kinda. And yeah, I just liked. I felt the story was an original spin on a classic type of Star Trek story with the disease infecting the ship from the alien planet. And yeah, overall I really liked it. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10 phasers.
All right, that's our show. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time. Live long and prosper.